Good morning, lovelies. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. Suitcase. No, I am not, unfortunately, going on my holidays. I'm going up to town today. Yay! I'm going to try and do some flogging of stuff. I've got my... so today this is records and vintage clothing day. I need to take with me, got these out last night so I don't forget, identification. So I've got my passport and my utility bills. Right, so the records, I thought this was a genius idea. Do you see the bits of the plastic on the ends? These bits of plastic were they were around the ends of the computer, the new laptop. Will it fit? Yes. I just thought, you know, a little bit of protection while they're in transit. Water bottle, ID. Right. Let's go and fold these clothes and get them ready to add to the stash. With the records, oh, little bits of hair in face, sorry. With the records, I have been online to try to get an idea of value. It's funny, I've done all that yapping about working in the bookshop, and people come with elevated expectations when they want to sell their second-hand books. I don't want to be that person when I try and sell my records, but I did want to have an idea of what they're selling for in terms of retail. Now, excuse me, obviously retail is one figure, and you know, me selling them, it's a whole different figure. Obviously the shop has to make its profit, but even so, I think, well, I'm hoping that a combination of having looked to see what they're worth and knowing how the second-hand business retail works, as in a shop rather than eBay, more of eBay in a second, I hope that means that you know, I won't get ripped off. I hope I don't get ripped off. But ultimately, look, these things, they need to go. I don't need them in my life anymore. So, is there a bottom line? Well, with the records, there are 3 in particular which are the most valuable. And I think if they offered me something really silly low, then I'm going to say no. You know, I don't want to give them away, for goodness sakes. The problem with the records in terms of me selling them myself, like say from here, whether it's through eBay or something else, is, oh my God, the risk of sending them through the post. That's another thing I know from my second-hand bookshop days. We used to sometimes have talking books on vinyl. Imagine that. And I don't know, I'd say about 1 in every 3 would not make it to the buyer. Just get smashed up on the way. No matter it just seemed like no matter how well I packaged them, they'd get bust. So I'm loath to try and do it myself from here. Obviously, if I did it myself, I'd make more money because I'm cutting out the middle person, that shop. But I don't know, I just think hassle. And the other thing, oh, suddenly really low in the shot. Couple of weekends ago, I spent ages photographing stuff, uploading it into eBay, and nothing sold. All my items had watches, like literally from, I did a 1-week auction, literally from the first day, I had watches on everything, and then, yeah, nothing sold. And I think in terms of price, I think I'd started the price quite low. I mean, again, it's that thing of, I don't want to give stuff away. It's that thing of starting the price low enough to pique people's interest. But if you only get one bid on that low price, are you prepared to let that item go for such a low price? So nothing sold, reduced the prices, waiting to see if the price reductions help to sell anything. I mean, I hope so, because like I said, I'm in that frame of mind now. Oh, come on, come back over here with me. It's going to pick you up and move you. There we go. Yeah, I'm in that frame of mind now where I just want to get stuff gone. Right, I'm taking my camera with me today as well, so I need to leave room for the camera, tripod, bits and bobs. Yeah, I just want things gone, but you know, I do donate quite a lot to local charity shops. I have done over the years. I think, yeah, let's support the charities. But there are some things, and I think, you know, at the moment, goodness knows, could do with making a bit of cash. I don't know whether, yeah, it's a funny one with eBay, isn't it? I've done eBay over the years. I've probably done eBay over, since I went online. So I think I did my first ever eBay in about 2010. Excuse me. And everything I've ever sold on there has sold really well. I think I've always made over the starting price. So it was a bit of a shock, bit of a disappointment to see this lot not selling. It's like, what have I done wrong? Right, water. I think I'm going to take a second bottle of water. Fan, because I'll be on the underground at certain times today. So my route, I'll take the train up into Canada Water. So I'll take the overground train from my station to Canada Water. By the time it gets to Canada Water, which is on the old Isle of Dogs in sort of East London, before I get into Canada Water, my train will duck underground to get into Canada Water. And from there, I'll take the underground, the tube. On the Jubilee line, I'll take it all the way to Bond Street, posh street. I'll change at Bond Street, take another tube a little bit. I think it's only one. Is it one or two stops starting out? I can't remember, it doesn't matter. So yeah, selling my stuff, but also after I've done my selling, fingers crossed, because I don't want to carry this lot home. Actually, oh my God, it's going to be so heavy to get down the stairs slowly. But after I've done my selling, we'll be very close to Holland Park, where I used to play tennis and occasionally run. It was sort of my local park when I lived that way. Excuse me. In the early 90s, and then again in the mid to late 90s, I was there, then I moved, and then I moved back. So I'm going to take us to the park today as well. Hopefully it's not too crowded, because there's a couple of really quiet, lovely bits I want to show you. So for me, it's, yeah, I'm going up there ostensibly to do some flogging. But also it's it'll be a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Yay! I don't think I've been to Holland Park for 20 odd years. And what I'm wondering is, will my feet remember the way to go? We'll find out. Because it's a big park. It's a very big park. It's the biggest park in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to show it to you, but that's not going to happen unless you're on the tripod. Tripod needs to go in. Camera needs to go in. Shut. Get down the stairs. Get on the train. Come on, let's get up to town. That's my train platform. Not mine. Right. Whew. So I have come from, where am I? I'm down here somewhere. Where's my station? Sorry. Yeah, so I've come from down here. Oh, here's our map of London. South East London up to the East End here, and then I'm going to go on the tube now to Bond Street. This is like the West End here. Get to Bond Street. I don't think my camera can focus, can it? And then it's 1, 2, 3, oh, it's actually 4 stops out to Notting Hill. And then the next stop along is Holland Park. The park is sort of here. Ken High Street. Right, I think this is my train, yeah. Oh, there was a train a second ago, which is why this platform is so empty. Emptied out, yeah. Right, on we go. Oh my giddy goodness, what a day. Oh, just taking my trainers off. I want to take my socks off now. My cute little, I love these socks. It's the, hang on, oh, sorry. My little peachy socks. I'm home. Today was a mistake. Oh my goodness, I should have stayed in bed. Today was definitely a mistake. Let me just have a little grumble, please. It started as soon as I got to my station here. My Oyster card, which are the it's what you use for travel around London. They're like, it's like a credit card. It's exactly the same sort of size as a credit card, a little plastic card, and we tap them everywhere. So you tap to get onto your bus, you tap to get on the tube, and then you tap out. So when you get off your tube, you tap again, so it calculates how far you've travelled or which zones you've travelled in, because London's all about zones. So the centre of London is zone 1. You come out a bit zone 2, come out a bit more. I live down south East London here in zone 3. Come out a bit more over in West London. The guys live over here in West London, zone 4, zone 5, 6, 7, it goes out to zone 9. Anyway, so that's what we have. We have these Oyster cards, little plastic cards. And you put money on the card, it's like a prepaid thing. So I had, because I knew today was happening, and if you remember a few days ago, I'd taken the bus a couple of times over to the next village over for the solicitors, and then a few days later I'd gone back to the solicitors. So I'd run my card down, so I thought, I know, I need to put a tenner on my Oyster card. So I knew I'd topped up, got to my station this morning, it didn't work. It just wouldn't work, it wouldn't let me in. So you can't actually get onto the station unless when you tap the card, it opens the gate for you. I thought, my train was pulling in, it's like, I'm gonna miss my train. That's not too much of a big deal actually though, because one of the joys of, living in a big town or city is, in general, certainly in London, public transport is amazing. It's like, I never plan my journeys in terms of, a bus timetable or a train timetable. Never plan them. I literally think, I need to go up into town. I just leave. Don't look at train times, because there are trains at peak times, there's probably a train every 5 minutes or so. Tubes come along, on the underground, they come along every 2 or 3 minutes, as long as there's no issues. Anyway, so I missed that train, and the chap came over and he was trying to make it work, the station worker. He couldn't make it work, and I showed him my receipt. I said, look, I've topped up, and he's like, oh. Anyway, he disappeared for a minute and came back and went, and it's like, it works, so fine. I got onto the station. But then it was in the back of my mind. I was thinking, I hope this works for the rest of the day. I hope this isn't going to do it for the rest of the day. Because, do you remember when I showed you the map when we were, that was at Canada Water. I feel like I need to, I was at Canada Water, so I've come from an overground train that then dips underground, and I'm swapping onto the underground system. So when you swap from one system to the other, you have to tap your card again so that it can keep calculating your price for the day. Anyway, it worked okay at the interchange there. So that was okay. I was like, phew, we're underway. And then, so I'm on the tube, heading up there, and I suddenly thought, Vivi, you're an idiot. You are an absolute idiot, girl. What were you thinking? It's August. That means the schools are off. So that's, you know, folk who live in London with kids, they're out and about. Folk who live outside of London but with kids, they're coming into London for day trips with their kids. Welcome to London. And of course, it's peak tourist season for overseas visitors. I suddenly thought to myself, you have picked the worst month in the year to not only be going up to town, but to be going to Notting Hill Gate. Because Notting Hill Gate is the tube station that you need to use for Portobello Road Market. What an idiot! God, I mean, that area is always heaving with tourists anyway, but in August it's at its height. The only time it could have been busier for me to go there today would be during Carnival, which is at the end of the month, bank holiday weekend. Now, if I was going up for Carnival, I don't mind the crowds. Yay, bring it on, I love it. Let's get dancing in the street, love it. But not when I'm up there to do business. Anyway, so even before I got to Notting Hill, I was thinking, you absolute flipping moron, Gregory. You're a moron. Anyway, get up to Notting Hill, and as I'm coming up the escalator, so I was on the Central line. That was also giving me a bit of a nostalgia kick today as well. I was thinking, it's so funny, isn't it, when you first arrive in London. I first moved to London in 1990, and for the first couple of weeks, sort of orientating myself and getting around, I referred to the lines by their colours. So I think, oh, so I need to take the yellow line to there, and then I swap onto the dark blue line and go up there, and then when I get there I swap onto the black line. Okay, and of course we all know now that it's, you know, okay, that's the circle line. I'm going circle line to there, Piccadilly, and then I'm going to take the Northern line, Bank branch, because there are two different branches. Anyway, so that gave me a little wistful moment of thinking, you know, just remembering that incredibly excited young woman I was, getting on the train at Manchester Piccadilly, all my mates on the platform waving me bye-bye. I had a suitcase and a rucksack. That was it. I'm off to the bright lights. Bye! I'll probably, you know, it was like, I'll probably be back next weekend or in a couple of weekends' time. I'll see you then. I never went back. Once I got to London, that was it. Just fell in love. I fell in love with this fantastic city. Anyway, sorry, digressing. So I get to Notting Hill, and I was on the Central line, which isn't the deepest line on the underground, as in the one that's furthest down under the ground. That's the Piccadilly line and Northern line at places. Nor is it the most shallow line, so the District line and the Circle line are very shallow. In fact, when they were made, they were the cut and cover. Was it called? I think it's called cut and cover was the engineering technique they used, where if this is street level, they literally sort of dug a hole down like that. Here's street level. So they've dug a hole here, they put the tube in, and in some places it's not even covered. There are parts of London where you will see a row of beautiful old Georgian terraced housing, and if you look carefully you realise some of the windows, they don't black them out, they white them out. So if you look at it, it looks like they've got sort of white frosting, white net curtains. They are fake fronts. So if we imagine this street again, and here's a whole street of terraced, beautiful Georgian terrace, and then here, where they want to make the hole, they knock two buildings down, they knock those buildings down, take them away, so your terrace is here, but it sort of stops here, dig the hole, and then the front of that terrace, they put the front back up, frost the windows, so as you're walking down this street, it looks like a regular, beautiful Georgian terrace, but behind it, oh, there's the tube. Anyway, oh, we're having a little bit of London history today, aren't we? A bit of engineering in London. Anyway, the point, what I was going to get round to is the central line isn't the deepest line, nor is it the shallowest. It's in the middle. So my heart sank a bit as I got to Notting Hill, and I'm going up the escalator to see that the down escalator isn't working. It's all stairs. So I thought, you know what, never mind, because when I come up, do my business, I'll hop on a bus to go down to Holland Park, and then on my return, because Holland Park is the next stop on the central line, I'll get the train from Holland Park, the tube. Anyway, I was like, oh, whatever. So now it's Tuesday for me today. That's only significant because then what happens. So anyway, I get to Notting Hill, absolute hordes and hordes of people, and people saying, I won't do anyone's accents, from other parts of the world saying, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Portobello Road Market? And it's like, yeah, the sign's there. Just follow the sign. Follow the masses. They're all going to Portobello Road. Fortunately, they go slightly that way and go... Anyway, so I get to one of the exchange shops. It's a whole sort of little... It's almost like a little village of exchange shops in Notting Hill. They do clothes for women, clothes for men. They do books, they do the records... So I went to do the clothes first because they were in the top of my suitcase, and I could have slapped, not that I would ever slap anyone, it's just a figure of speech, isn't it, and it's just in my head. I could have slapped the two sort of shop assistants. They were just far too cool, far too hip to even notice me. So they stood behind the counter gabbing to each other, just being like, oh, I'm so cool, I can barely stand up. I'm so hip, my spine's gone floppy. Oh, I'm so hip. I'll answer my phone in a sec. Anyway, so I stood there, staring straight at them, waiting, because I couldn't remember which desk you use. I haven't gone there to exchange for ages. Now, so I'm saying it's Tuesday today. Last night, Monday night, I just double checked on the website. I checked opening times. I had checked their cash and credit system. So you can do one of two things. You can either get cash in exchange for your goods, or if you take credit notes, they give you double the value. So if you're going to get 20 quid for a record, they'd give you 40 in credit notes. The idea is then there's no cash exchange at all. You're basically supplying them with goods, but you're going to buy from them. Brilliant. Anyway, so I was just checking opening times, cash, credit, and what was the other thing I was checking? Oh yeah, that was it. I wanted to double check which forms of ID they accept, because, you know, different places are different. So I checked last night and it's all hunky-dory. So I'm in the shop with the two kids, I'm saying kids because they're about 20, who are so hip their spines have gone floppy. And eventually one of them said, yeah. I thought, God, you rude little SHIT, you rude little oik. And I said, hi, yeah, I'm just wondering, who I'd like, I can't remember what I said, something like, I'd like to see your buyer, I've got a few items I'd like to sell. And he went, it's downstairs. God. Anyway, went downstairs, clobber, bag, walking stick. Get downstairs, and I said to the lass, got some clothes now, and she was like, okay, she said, just to remind you that we're not doing cash today, we're just doing credit. I said, what? And I don't want credit notes, I don't want to buy more stuff, I'm trying to get rid of stuff, I'm trying to generate cash to put into my bank, so I've got money I can flipping buy food with or live on, for goodness sakes. I said, you're only doing credit. I said, but on the website it says cash and credit. You do cash or credit. She went, oh yeah, it was just changed this morning. It's like, well, when she said, oh, it's just now, they've just decided now. So even if I'd looked this morning before I left the house, it would have said cash or credit. And I was like, are you joking? I said, is it the same for the record shop too? So she said, well, hang on, I'll find out. She picks the phone up because they're all connected. They're not physically the same building. They're all in, because they're all tiny little shops in the old, they're all Georgian shops. That whole area is like just that bit of Georgian. Anyway, she rang through to the record people and she said, are you doing cash today or is it just credit? No, it's just credit notes. Whole thing, waste of time. Waste of blooming time. Now, it has been, so the fare each way was £3, which I don't think is a huge amount of money when you think of the distance travelled. It's got to be getting on for, I mean, I've come from southeast London up into London, then all the way across London to West London. So I don't think £3 is expensive for that fare. But it's just like, so it's £6 the return. It's like, I've just spent £6 and I've not made any money. I've spent a little over 2 hours, there and back, door to door. Yeah, it's been just over, it's about 2 hours and 5 minutes. And of which probably above ground and going to the shop and waiting for the hipsters to bother serving, and that's probably about 50. So I reckon it's been about 50 minutes travel each way. Again, which is not too bad, you know, door to door, right into Notting Hill. That's door to door. I don't think it's bad, but oh God, I feel a bit weepy. This is ridiculous. I can't catch a break at the moment. I just can't catch a break. I've been keeping a lid on it. I've been keeping myself together, but there's been so, I don't talk about this stuff normally. I'm not going to go on one today either, but honestly, for the last 2 months, there's been so much stress, so much pressure. If something can go wrong, it goes wrong. If I end up, you know, it's just bills, but it's, I just would like, I don't ask for much in life, I really don't, but I would just like 1 week. I'm not talking about having a week's holiday or even having a week off, but I would just like 1 week that isn't full of problems landing on my doorstep, or isn't full of days when I try to do something relatively simple and just get thwarted at every turn. Because, you know, after I'd been in the shop, so I didn't go to Holland Park in the end. I just thought, you know what, I want to go home now. I'm upset and fuming that there's that change of policy. It happened within an hour or so before I got there. And it's like, I've come all this way based on what your website said. You say you've changed the website in the last hour. If you're going to make a change as fundamental as that, maybe you should have a 2-week warning so that on your website it says, from such and such a date in August, we will no longer be offering cash for purchases. I mean, look, maybe that's just at the moment because it's the height of tourist season. I don't know, maybe that will change in September or October. I certainly don't have anywhere else to sell my records at the moment. I mean, if I find somewhere before then, great. But if not, I'll get in touch in September and see if they will be doing cash again. And if they are, I'll ring someone and I'll say, I need that to be a definite because I'll be travelling up today. But yeah, so having had that, and then I got back to Notting Hill Tube, and then I suddenly remembered, oh God, and the escalator's out, isn't it? And the escalator is out. Of course it is. Of course I have to now carry this suitcase full of vinyl down, I don't know. I'm trying to guesstimate it based on how many stairs at my house. It had to be more, maybe 80. What to do. So I think, and I've had some text exchanging this morning. Maybe that's what that's about. So, I think for now, look, eBay is a total washout at the moment. That today has been a complete washout. I think I just have to just ditch the idea of making money from my stuff for now. Get on the sewing machine and make stuff to sell. And speaking of which, and this is weird because I think it's going to have been the last video you will have seen. Do you remember I was talking about, sorry, I can't remember who asked the question, about doing commissions, sewing commissions. I've had an inquiry. It's from a friend of a friend, so it's not someone I know, but they know someone that I know. So the person that I know said, can I pass your number on to these people? And I said, yeah. I thought, oh, okay, yeah. Word of mouth, I like a bit of that. Anyway, so these people got in touch with me, and they're not in my immediate neighbourhood, which I prefer if someone's in the immediate neighbourhood, just keep it here, but they're up more towards Dulwich. And they said, oh, you know, we got your number from this friend in the middle. Understand you do sewing for friends and stuff, blah blah blah. We've got so she kind of explained it in the text, and this is what I think it is in my head. I'll try and describe it from the top. They've got a bay window, so we're looking from above. So a bay window, three-sided bay window, hexagonal. She described it, so that's hexagonal, isn't it? Half a hexagon, and they've had built a window seat, so she wants 3 cushions for the top. So these would end with square ends, and then here obviously they'd be on angles, piped at the top and the bottom. So now we're looking at the cushion as if we're, you know, side on cushion. So piped at the top, piped at the bottom, zip along all the backs so they can be taken off to wash. So I was like, yeah, that's something I can tackle. I said, so we've got all the materials. How would £10 be? 10 quid. So I messaged back. I need more water. So I'm really glad about making that Q&A video. So I made that video a couple of days ago, however long ago. And having had that question anyway, and I'd been mulling it in my mind, I thought, Vivi, you have to stand up for yourself in terms of what you charge, because there's no point in doing these things and getting grumpy. So, because, I mean, now that I'm home, I'm thinking maybe, you know, text back, but it's that thing of £10 is better than nothing. And let's face it, I've not made anything today from the records. But anyway, so this woman had said, how would £10 be? And I just wrote back and I said, I'm sorry, I can't make all 3 cushions in 1 hour. And she said, oh, no, I don't expect you to make them in an hour. Take as long as you like. And I said, no. And then so I messaged back and I said, I was being a bit passive aggressive, I think. Was I being passive aggressive or a bit sarky? I don't know. But anyway, I'm just spreading my wings. I'm trying things out. I messaged back and I said, oh, sorry, no, that's not what I meant. What I mean is I charge £20 an hour for my work. 20 quid an hour is still not a lot of money. These, I know roughly where they live. They're probably making about 100 quid an hour in their jobs. So I said, no, I charge £20 an hour for bespoke work. And she got back and she said, well, how much do you think it would be? And I said, well, I think it's going to be an hour each minimum. So I think it's going to be a minimum of £60. And she got back and she said, no, sorry, that's a bit too rich for me. And that was it. Did you hear my phone just went beep, 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 beep? That might be, maybe she's getting back to me to say, actually, maybe you're right, maybe I can do 60 quid. But, you know, it's that thing, isn't it? Because I would have to go up to her house to measure up. Okay, or I could say to her, you do the measurements, but the measurements are on you. So if you measure it incorrectly, that is not on me. So you measure the exact size of the seats, I will add a seam allowance to that. You don't need to worry about seam allowance. You measure that. But I mean, I'd rather measure it myself just so that we all know. Measure it with the client there, so we agree the measurement. But anyway, if I have to go up, well, I'd have to go to her anyway, because she said she's got the fabric and the pads and stuff. The pads will need cutting to size, so I probably would have to go. So I would have travel, That's time and money, fair. And yeah, I don't think £60 is a lot of money to do a bespoke window seat arrangement for someone. Anyway, we'll see. But you know what? At least I'm standing up. Maybe £20 an hour is a bit much, but I just thought, let's be cheeky, let's try it. I'm certainly not going to do that entire job. An entire job for 10 quid. Are you kidding me? Just to go there and back on the bus, that's £3.50 to get the fabrics. And then what, I deliver it, that's £3.50. So I'm going to make 3 quid. 3 quid for a whole weekend's work. Anyway, oh, I don't know how I got onto that. Yeah, it just, I don't know. There's something in the air at the moment. Things aren't going right. So, I don't know, I don't know if I need to do an incantation, a little magic spell or something to try and shift things back onto an even keel, shift things back to things working and things being calm and nice. On a serious note, from a mental health point of view, I really need a break from pressure, stress, and things going wrong and problems landing in my lap. I can't take any more at the minute. I can't take any more. Oh, never mind. It might be, like I say, maybe once the peak of the tourist season is over, as we go into September or even October, it might be that I'm heading back up there and they're back to doing cash and I can sell me records. And if it is October time, but it's a nice day, we can still go for a walk in Holland Park because it'll be lovely in the autumn. So let's do that. Let's be positive and think positive thoughts that yes, this could still happen, but just on a cooler autumnal day. Right, lovelies, that's not what I was expecting today. You have to roll with the punches in life, don't you? So hopefully next time I catch up with you all, it'll be a bit more positive and nothing will go wrong. But hey, look, you've had a little free lesson today in something to do with London engineering, with the cut and cover tubes and those fake fronted Georgian buildings. So if you're in London, if you're visiting London, if you look at where the Circle Line is, but specifically, actually I think it's specifically the embankment, where you look at where the the district line, because it stops at embankment. If you look at where the district line is, if you kind of think of, say, South Kensington, round to embankment, that section, if you're walking at street level at that section, look up and look out for those fake fronts. They'll either be the sort of late Georgian buildings, early Victorian buildings. Look at those frosted windows. If you see that all the windows are frosted, you can think, that's the cut and cover tube line engineering thing. There's nothing behind it. That's what our Vivi said. Yay! London history. Right, that's it. I think I'm going to do lolly. I'll see you all again really soon, I hope. And not sure what for, but we'll do something and hopefully it'll be something that we can do from beginning to end and complete it and nothing will go wrong. Here's hoping. All right, gorgeosities, until then, cheerio.